Hi, everybody. Hope everything is going well for you. I'm enjoying Rio. For those who don't know me, I'm Enrique. As Justin said, I have been building a lot in Stellar. I've been in the ecosystem for 4 years, approx, or maybe more. But today I want to talk to you about my journey in creating a smart wallet. Because turns out that it's not that easy. Not because creating a smart wallet, the contract part is actually hard. That's extremely easy, and with Sotoman is actually really, really easy to do. The problem is to having a proper wallet that users will like to use. But first, what is my experience? I'm the creator of Expo Wallet. I made it back in 2021. It took about 4 months to have the first version, and because of that, I thought that maybe it would be easy to create also the smart wallet one. But turns out that when you are building in a new ecosystem, in this case Sotoman, there are a lot of stuff that are still missing and that you will need then for order to a user to actually want to use the wallet. The issue is something related with self-custody. But what are we talking today? We are talking about 3 specific things. Why making a smart wallet? Because that's basically the important part. But what does it take to build a smart wallet? And also, are we ready for a sort of a smart wallet? Why making a smart wallet? Well, something I have learned in 4 years in my journey with the Expo Wallet is that users, they don't like self-custody. We love it because we say we need to have our own keys, but the general user is scared of that. Self-custody is really scary because it's nothing like everyday web. Users are used to create accounts. They like to have a proper way to connect to something. They just sign up in their bank account and they send something. They basically, in the Web3 world, it's totally different. They don't like the fact that they need to record 24 words. When you ask them to do that, they ask you why that's needed, why they need to put down 24 words in a paper, because they feel that's extremely dangerous. And in some ways, actually true. That's something that is holding back the adoption in the self-custody world. And that's because we give them a lot of responsibility. And the user is not used to that. They like to be able to make mistakes. They like to be able to ask somebody and ask them, can you help me with this? In the self-custody world, that's not possible. And that's because the password issue. Users, even though they like to create accounts, they don't like to manage passwords. Now imagine, tell them to manage different private keys for all of your accounts. That's difficult for them. With the smart wallet, that's something that is fit. Because when they don't need to actually keep all of the password, all of the private keys, everything is actually handled by the platform itself, either if it's an iOS device, a Google device, or just a computer or something like that, you remove that responsibility for them. So basically, the passkeys fixes the difficult part of actually having a self-custody wallet. Why? Because if they make a mistake, the platform is the one that is actually taking care of backing up the passkey. If they need some help, they can send a message to, I don't know, to Apple, to Google or something, and it will help them. And you might say, this is dangerous, this is not self-custody, this is a problem. And yeah, it could be true. If you are the owner of a big exchange like Coinbase or Binance, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. But the regular user that is just trying to understand what is going on in this Web3 world, this is really good for them because they don't need to take care of the most important part, that is actually keeping your private keys safe. Because if they lose those 24 words, at some point, they're going to lose their funds. And that's something that a lot of users are scared. And they prefer to just, I'm not going to try this because I'm going to mess it up at some point. And that's something difficult for the ecosystem because we are not growing because of that. But now that we know that having a passkey wallet is actually important because we remove that responsibility, what does it take to build a smart wallet? And when I made Expo, the regular version in back in 2021. With Horizon, which is something that is available in the Stellar classic side, everything was easy because Horizon makes a lot that you don't need to actually do yourself. But with Settlement, because it's a new platform, turns out that you need to make a lot of stuff before you can have the same experience for the users. And with that, we have been creating a full ecosystem of libraries and processes, so we can actually do that. Because when I was making the smart wallet, I thought, well, one of the things that I actually love from Stellar are path payments. That feature, in my opinion, is one of the good things about the classic side of Stellar. Turns out that in Soroman, you cannot use that because it's the classic side. And so I made XWL swap. This one is basically replicating the same logic, so you can do that on the Soroman side. Then I realized, okay, something else that I actually like from the Stellar classic side is being able to send multiple operations at the same time. Well, it turns out that I cannot do that because I can only send one single transaction, and so I made a Stellar meta contracts, which is basically a set of small contracts that you can use to execute different transactions with just one transaction. It's just basically a contract in the middle that takes care of that. But the good thing about using Soroman for that is that you can expand the logic, because in the classic side, it's just like if something fails, everything fails. In the meta contracts, you can define which one of these transactions can actually fail. And so you can have more features because you have more freedom in the way you can define the contract. Another thing that I really like from the classic side was able to actually have all of the balance and all of the information from all your holdings. Well, in Soroman, we cannot do that easily yet. At some point, everything is going to be easy. But so what I made was the Stellar Assets SDK, because this one takes care of actually abstracting everything from the difference between a regular asset, a classic asset, or asset on the Soroman side. So it's like replicating all of the features that we already have in the classic now in Soroman. Another thing that when I was making the smart wallet, I found out that, okay, I'm not able to send a transaction to the network because the contract cannot sign the transaction itself. And so the Stellar Transporter API was born. This API is basically an abstraction that you can send some request to an API, and the API is going to take care to send the transaction. And I thought, well, I already made a XWL swap and also the meta contract. What if I make the Stellar Transporter so you can actually pay for your fee with any of the assets that you already have in your wallet as long as it's compatible with XWL swap? And so, okay, now we have three public projects. XWL swap is already public, meta contracts 2 and the Stellar SDK 2. Now, okay, another thing that I thought, well, something that is missing right now is that it's difficult to connect my smart wallet with all of the websites, because all of the websites were created for handling regular Stellar assets, Stellar accounts. And so the Greater Farm starts it's an abstraction, so the smart wallet can actually use this protocol instead of trying to connect with all of them individually. So it's just making it easy for the smart wallet to actually be compatible. Finally, we have Oxygen, which is another thing that I really enjoy from the Stellar Classic side, is that it has a built-in order book. And I understand that liquidity pools are really good because everything is liquidity pools in all of the blockchains, but order books are also important, especially for stablecoins, because if you don't have enough liquidity in a stablecoin pool, in a regular pool, the slippage and the loss that you're going to eat is going to be high. And with order books, you can set your own price, and that's something that you can actually have better pricing in the Soroman side. But something else in that project is embracing the reflector oracles to have liquidity pools that can actually update its own price based on the oracle's prices. So that's something that the good thing about having smart contracts and Soroman is that we can bring the Stellar decentralized exchange, but improving so you have more options also on that side. But with all of this, can we say that are we ready for a smart wallet? In my opinion, not yet. Not because we cannot use them. I mean, you can create a smart wallet today and have basically all of the functionality that you want. And even though if there is something that is missing, I invite you to actually to create it and make it public, like I have been doing. That way we grow all together. But the fact is that even if we have a smart wallet today with all of the features that I just mentioned, I will still not use it because I feel the classic side still offers me a better user experience. And why is that? Well, because we need two specific things. We need exchange compatibility. I know this is coming at some point, but as long as we cannot send funds from one exchange to a smart wallet, users are not going to use it. At least not most of them, because when they are going to send funds to their own smart wallet, they are going to say, why I cannot receive it? And that type of stuff creates friction for them, because even with memos that we already have for years and years in the Stellar, some users are still making mistakes with them. So now imagine telling them that the account is not compatible, even though it's an Stellar account. As soon as the exchanges update that, that's going to break that barrier, and we should be able to have more users using a regular smart wallet, like a general use smart wallet. And also Stellar dApps compatibility. I thought, well, I'm also the creator of a Stellar Wallet Kit. I could just create some sort of abstraction, so the smart wallet is compatible with all of the websites that are using the Stellar Wallet Kit, but it's not possible either, because most of the websites are doing everything and generating the transactions thinking that you are using a regular account. And that's a problem. So what we need now is trying to change a little bit the way that we handle it, all of that on the website side. So instead of assuming a user is having a regular account, we just assume the user wants to do this transaction. I don't care if it's a regular account. I don't care if it's a contract. I don't care anything of that. So that way, the wallet itself handles that part. It handles the generation of the full transaction itself, while the website only cares about the operation invocation. So that way, doesn't matter if you have a smart wallet or a regular wallet, a website will just work right away. But since we already have like 7 to 9 months doing this, and still we don't have a smart wallet, you might ask, like, did we waste our time? I don't think so, because the good thing is that we have been making more and more services and libraries that help other developers, and so it's not wasting our time. It's just like, okay, cool, now we already have this part. We just need to continue working until we have the other two key points that I feel are needed before having a general purpose smart wallet. And also, because this project, the one of the smart wallet, I've been changing as soon as I have been working on it. I have been changing the way that it works. I have been changing even the name. At some point, it was called Sumando. And then it turns out I realized, well, maybe if I'm already changing this so many times, why don't just use Xpool? People already know Xpool, and so I thought, well, maybe the solution is not making a full smart wallet, like a wallet that only cares about being a smart wallet, but more about having a regular account, a regular wallet, so users have the same experience of a smart wallet without the drawbacks of being a smart wallet. And so I thought, okay, instead of doing it that way, let's just evolve Xpool. And that's what I'm now working. I'm working on Xpool v2. So, thank you. It's basically a new phase for an old wallet, but without the issues a smart wallet phase. Because as soon as we are able to call it like, okay, now it's the time to everybody have a smart wallet, okay, now Xpool is going to be able to do that. So, and also, because another thing that I would like to mention is that with a smart wallet, you can have a regular account and you could just define a smart wallet like it's your second account or something like that. It's an account that is smarter than your main one. That way, for example, if you have another book, a DEX, you could have some type of signing logic that, okay, I want to have a stop loss. A lot of traders ask for having a stop loss. A lot of traders want to be able to put some condition. If the price of something goes somewhere, do something. That's possible with a smart wallet. So if we can mix them, instead of just having one type or another type, we can give the user all of these features, and the user can just decide which one of them. But at the same time, removing just the private key issues, so they don't need to care about the difficult part, and just care about, okay, these are my options. And with all of that, just thank you.
So there's a few minutes left. You wanna take some questions?
Sure.
Questions. Who's got a question? We just heard the announcement of X-Bull V2 with a ready to be a smart wallet, which is pretty smart. Questions? Questions? When? When?
When? Well, soon.
Thanks, Enrique. That was awesome. Can you, I think we're all eager to learn more about what it looks like to combine the benefits of a classic account and a smart wallet. Can you share some more information about that?
Can you repeat a little higher?
Can you share some more information on how X-Bull V2 will combine the benefits of a classic account and a smart wallet?
Yeah, something that is coming with a new standards with passkeys is now most of the platforms can generate a password with the passkey. That's something that was impossible with some standards before. If you can just, most of the wallets right now, what they do is that when you define a password, the password is used to encrypt the private keys. But because we don't know users are using strong enough passwords, we tend to avoid backing up those private keys. We just keep them in the wallet. Now we're being able, the passkey generating the password, we know that it's going to be strong enough, and so we can abstract the process behind it. So basically the passkey, the regular authentication from the platform, is going to encrypt the private key of the regular account. And so for the user, it's like having a passkey-based wallet, while we just care about abstracting everything behind, like, okay, now give me the private key that is encrypted. I'm going to keep it safe because I know that you use a strong enough password and it's not an issue for me to keep that in my database. And so it's basically giving the user the passkey interface and the user experience without being the smart wallet itself.
I'm moving so that you can claim your NFT, by the way, which I was just doing. What do you think? Have you been using the Meridian Pay?
Yep.
What do you think?
It's cool. I love it.
Fair. Alex.
I guess, so from your perspective, the main benefit is basically the passkey authentication, and you're implementing a Stellar Classic wallet with passkeys, basically.
Yeah, because the thing is that the platform takes care of backing up everything. So that way users don't think about that. Mostly because I feel I'm an advanced user. That I have like multiple wallets and multiple accounts, but the regular user is not like that. Something that even, it was funny because last night I was helping someone that he actually lost access to one of his accounts. Turns out that it's not that he lost the access to it, it's just that he forgot that he created that account in one specific type of wallet. And so I told him, no, you have the account, it's just that you have the extension installed, it's just that you're not using it, you're using a different one. So that type of administration is hard for them. If it's just a passkey, the passkey is going to take everything, I mean, the platform itself. So that's, to me, that's the only benefit, well, not the only, but the main benefit from the smart wallet. It's just you remove the private key from the equation. It's not like, it's not existing, it's just that for the user, it doesn't exist.
Cool, awesome. I think we're out of time, but thank you so much. Good questions. Thanks for that presentation.